Hey, Cub fans! Thanks for joining us here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. The story I'm about to tell you is true. It's very difficult for me to talk about. It just happened, and I know it's early in the season, but we just blew an 8-run lead late to lose the opener of the three-game set with the Padres out there. 9-8 was the final. Gave up 7 in the 6th and 2 in the 8th to cough up an 8-0 lead. And pretty devastating, really, for a lot of different reasons. But I'm going to take a deep breath. Let's go through it. Here's what went down. We started Happ in left field tonight. Leading off, Seiya was DHing, hitting second. Belly was in center field hitting third. Christopher Morel, third base in the cleanup spot, as usual. Dansby at shortstop. Bush at first base. Nico at second. Talkman got the start in right field, hitting eighth. And Amaya got another start behind the plate, hitting ninth. I really wasn't surprised that Talk got a start. I was actually thinking, before I saw the lineups, I always play a game in my head. You guys probably do the same thing about what the lineups are going to be. And I just felt like he's going to put Talk in the lineup, and it was the same lineup that played yesterday. So Talk got a start in right field. Seiya got sort of the night off in right in the DH spot. And, guys, it started out great. We got 4 in the second and 4 in the fourth. Second inning, Nico hits a rocket double. Talk follows him with a very Talkman-like at bat. Down 0-2, goes full, and 9 pitches in the total at bat. He draws his walk. And then Amaya came up, got hit by a pitch. So we got bases loaded. Ian Happ has a 2 RBI single, followed by another walk by Seiya. And Bellinger comes up with a 2 RBI single for the 4 runs in the second inning. We got 4 more in the fourth. Amaya got a single to lead us off. Went to second on a wild pitch. Happer walked. Seiya walked. Belly with a sacrifice fly, scoring Amaya. Morel came in, had a nice hard hit, not really a line drive, but a hard hit ground ball down the line at third for a 2-baser. And Hap scores. Dansby then triples, scoring Seiya and Morel. So, bottom of the fourth inning, we're up 4-0. We'll talk about the pitchers here in a little bit, and it's kind of ugly, But we finished with the 8 runs, 8 hits, 6 walks. We struck out 10 times. It was disheartening for me is we got to Darvish. Darvish only pitched 3 innings, and we had him out. So it's like, okay, Darvish wasn't on tonight. His command was way off, and I think they just sort of threw in the towel on him. So, we're up 4-0, and we got Darvish out, and it's like, okay, we're on our way. So very disappointing. We left 5 on base, went 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. And here's how it went. Ian Happ went 1 for 4. He had 2 RBIs and scored 2. Seiya went 1 for 3, scored a run, couple of walks. Belly went 1 for 4, had the 3 RBIs total, sac fly, base hit, strikeout. Christopher Morel went 1 for 4. Christopher had an RBI and scored a run. Dansby went 1 for 4, had the 2 RBIs on that triple in the fourth. Bush went 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts, a couple of flyouts. Nico hit the ball well. Nico looked really good tonight at the plate offensively. He went 1 for 2, had that double, that rocket in the second. Then in the third, he walked and then got picked off to end the inning. Looked like he was trying to get the jump and go first move, and took off a little too soon. Pitcher caught him and picked him off. So that ended the inning in the third. Talk went 1 for 3 with another walk. Had a single in the 8th inning, opposite field line drive. Talk looked good again tonight. He had an error in the sixth inning, which didn't help. But did what he does at the plate. Went 1 for 3, had a walk, scored a run. So very Tauchman-like. I really look for them to start playing him as a DH or giving DH runs for the other outfielders. But I think that four-man outfield, I think we're going to see for a little bit here, because Tauch has really looked good at the plate. Miguel Amaya went 1 for 3, scored 2 runs. And Amaya, he played well again. He's really good behind the plate. And he threw a guy out. We had a caught stealing. He made a nice throw. So offensively, that's what we ended up doing. We did make 2 errors. Dansby made an error, and Tauchman made an error in that 7-run 6th inning. So that didn't help. But let's go ahead and talk about early on. We shut him down through 5. Assad was really good. Labored a little bit in the first inning. Took him 27 pitches to get out of the first. He walked a guy and ended up striking out 2, but worked his way out of it. A little bit better in the second inning. Took him 23 pitches to get out of the second. And 2 hits, struck out 2. Third inning, probably his best inning. 11 pitches, he was out 1, 2, 3. Fourth inning, 14 pitches, struck out 2. Then the 5th inning, another 14-pitch inning, walked a guy and struck out a guy. So he kind of cruises through 5. I think he had about 88 pitches, and I was curious of whether or not Counsell was going to leave him in through 5. At that point, we're up 8-0. His 88 pitches, and he ends up sending him out for the 6th. And I didn't disagree with it, but that's sort of where we were. So 6th inning, he walks a guy and gives up a 2-run homer. So didn't get an out in the 6th, gave up a couple of earned runs. So in retrospect, in hindsight, you could say, well, maybe he should have pulled him. He had 88 pitches. Maybe it was time. If he hadn't had the 8-0 lead, he would have. So the 8-0 lead at the time, I think Counsell left him in, and he ends up giving up a home run and a bomb. So his line for the night: 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks through 104 pitches, 65 strikes. So he wasn't his command wasn't dead on, but he was pretty good tonight. So I'm going to say Javier Assad did fine. The unfortunate circumstances that occurred once he departed is kind of what we're going to talk about now. So Javier pitches into the 6th, gives up the 2 runs, doesn't get any outs. Quas comes in, and Quas only throws a third of an inning, gives up 3 hits, 4 runs, but only 2 of them are earned because of the Dansby error and the error by Tauchman. So the 2 errors. So Quas, third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 runs total. Luke comes in to try to get us out of that 6th inning, and Luke goes 2/3, gives up a hit, a run, 1 home run, struck out a guy. They left Luke in for the 7th inning. He walks his first 2 batters and gets an out. So there's 2 on, 1 out in the 7th. They pull Luke and put Hector in, and Hector gets us out of the 7th. So we're out of the 7th unscathed. Then in the 8th inning, Hector walks his first batter, gets an out, and then we bring in Adbert. And it reminded me of when Counsell was with the Brewers and he had Josh Hader. And it happened to us quite a bit where he would bring in Josh Hader with an out in the 8th for a 5-out save. So that's the first time I'd seen him do it with us. It's been early, but so he puts Adbert in. Adbert comes in with a runner on and 1 out in the 8th inning, and strikes out a guy and then gives up a 2-run home run. So that was the 8th. So it didn't work out. We talked about it before with Hector and Adbert. That lights out closer we might be missing. Adbert came in and had an opportunity to really save us, get us out of that 8th, and kind of salvage this debacle that happened tonight, and gave up that 2-run home run in the 8th. Just devastating. Just a really bad loss for a first game of a long West Coast road trip to cough up an 8-run lead late like that. Last time we gave up an 8-run lead was, I think, in 2002 is what they said. So it was tough. It was hard to watch, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's where we are. So all we can do is take a deep breath, regroup. Tomorrow's lineup, as far as pitchers, has not been determined as of the time I'm talking to you now. We thought maybe they would reproduce what they did last time with Luke Little doing an opening, but Luke's through tonight, so I doubt that that's going to happen. It could just be a straight-up Ben Brown start. But as of right now, they haven't posted anything, so we'll have to wait and see. So tomorrow night becomes sort of a must-win situation for us. So that's the unhappy totals here. Padres 9, Cubs 8. Series starts off on that note. We're going to have to regroup. So thanks for joining me here on Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. We'll see you tomorrow night. Go Cubs, go.